The story continues with Arya unfazed at the sight of Karim, since she's the strongest female warrior on the planet. But Karim only wants one thing, and it's her, the legendary reincarnation of the battle goddess. Meanwhile, a love explosion occurs as the girls buy time for the two crimson foxes to finish extracting some seeds. But Danby has started to hit her limit, as Herring is able to withstand every rice cake attack that Danby is able to throw at him. Eventually, she transcends the realm of mere mortals as a crimson fox, for the first time in a very long time, is able to reach the climax of the mountain during a bike ride. Danby then mutters to him to wait, but Herring is confused, since he's the one not moving, so he keeps his eyes closed as if he's scared of ghosts. But then it dawned on him why she stopped. It turns out that she's unable to deliver any more rice cake attacks, as she needs time to recover from completion. However, since he's new at this, he tells her that he hasn't reached the climax of the mountain, as he thinks playtime is now over. Suddenly, a peeping Levi appears, looking mad as heck, probably wishing that Mikasa was here so she can witness him being a weirdo again. Nevertheless, he whips out his sword in front of him. A second after, the window blows open, much to Herring's dismay, as the poor boy still hasn't experienced the stage-like clarity after blowing the truckload. So Karim walks in unopposed, but he just stares at Herring and the boneheaded friend, standing there, as if he's the step bro ready to do some laundry. But then Arya comes to save the day, flying in like Mikasa on mobility gear, so she attempts to slice him down. However, Karim easily parries without even having to look behind him, showcasing his true masterful swordsmanship. So the two started to dance around while fighting, but the two crimson foxes trying to extract the seeds are unable to continue riding their bikes. But Arya has a big brain, so to buy some time for the crimson foxes, she starts insulting Karim. She continues by calling him a weeb, where she also tells him to stop being a simp for her, since he's not strong enough. But Karim is just that one friend who never gives up, no matter how many times he gets rejected, since he's a Chad with no care at all. So he whips out his sword again, pointing at her collar, ordering her to give it to him, since he wants only her, since no one else comes close to her power. Now to be clear, if the fox gives you their collar, it means you become the chosen one to destroy their rice cake anytime you want, so they confuse to make strong children. As Arya distracts Karim, Alita Battle Angel attempts to grab Danby by putting her cloak on, as they attempt to escape. But Danby refuses to leave, as she's captivated by Herring's behemoth banana plantation, so she tries to hold on by grabbing onto Herring. Luckily for the Crimson Foxes, the blondes are able to swiftly leave, but so did the art style every couple frames. With time running out, Alita has no choice but to literally force her out of the banana plantation, so Danby begins to cry, looking a little like Red Riding Hood. Tears then began to stream down her face as she reveals to everyone that she didn't even get to extract the legendary seeds from the behemoth. As Danby gets taken away, Arya gets gobsmacked surprised, as it's been a long time a random wolf was able to survive a rice cake siege. Even Karim's face starts to look like mine when someone steals my ace on purpose, as he too cannot fathom a supply member was able to withstand a crimson fox. It's then an introvert's nightmare as the entire gazes of the room shifts towards him, but Herring has no clue on what to do since he's still chained to the chair. So Arya looks at him intently. Maybe she's about to jump on him for a bike ride right in front of Karim to test the waters. But instead, the greatest warrior walks up to Herring, where she reveals her name is actually Ra, the current reincarnation of the goddess Arya. Meanwhile, Karim doesn't move as he stares at Ra, instead watching her every move perplexed. With the turntables turning, she removed her own collar and placed it on Herring, proclaiming to the entire world that Herring is her chosen banana plantation. As such, Levi looks like he's about to call upon the powers of the founding titan, since he's about to call the rumbling as her girl picks someone else. Karim then turns to Ra, unable to shout, as his rage started to exude outside his body. With a faceless expression, she looks back at him, as if she's trying her hardest to stop herself from giggling, since she's secretly a troll. But before Karim is able to do anything, she escapes away, but she flashes a cake that Karim will never ever get to experience now. Fast forward to the next morning, where we find Herring back at his place, unable to really get out of bed, as he has severe soreness from everything that has happened to him. He also reveals that he got interrogated by the elite special forces last night, where they couldn't believe that he didn't explode. Nevertheless, he keeps daydreaming about the Crimson Fox Danby, as he cannot forget the special experience the two shared together. But he tries to forget about her, as he knows he will never see her again, but at least he got to experience her rice cakes. Suddenly, his bedroom door swings wide open, as his dad barges in, looking like he's ready to beat him back to his senses. Instead, he proudly smiles, telling Herring that it's time to wake up since it's supper time already. Herring then discovers from his father that the entire country is in panic, due to what happened between him and Ra yesterday. A mysterious man then appeared inside their house as they tried to go to the kitchen, claiming that things won't simmer down anytime soon. The man then alerts them, telling them that he's here without any official authorization from the top brass, but he somehow knows everyone's name. Herring's father instantly recognizes him though, so he offers him some supper if he would like. But he declines, so he introduces himself to Herring, revealing that his name is Mu, like the cow, and is part of the kingdom's Shadow Ops group. Mu then tells Herring that today will be his last day as private of his support crew, since the Shadow Ops will take care of him from now on. Mu also urges him to quickly adapt, claiming that every agency in the world will be keeping a close eye on him for receiving Ara's collar. Herring then cries, knowing he can't play Roblox anymore as he'll be too busy getting trained behind the scenes. In the end, Mu reminds him that he has no choice, so Mu will be expecting him at sundown. Later on in the day, he gets a surprise punch to the face while he was just busy minding his own business. It turns out to be his friends and crew from the squad, as they want to know more from what happened the night before, super eager to know more details about rice cake smashing. As they pester him to spill the beans, the entire squad began to round up as Herring's about to tell the story of the first-hand account of rice cake sieges. Herring starts off by calling them all rookies, insulting them by claiming that they will never experience or imagine what he went through, as they are too weak. Regardless, he began telling the story, and as he continues, more people joined in the circle, intently listening as if he's the teacher of forbidden powers. The boys then started to get scared as they only heard rumors beforehand, never an actual first-hand experience. But then they got flustered as Herring moved to excruciating details of sweet honey tiak slurping and much more. Eventually, he motioned how the banana plantation instantly transformed into a rocket when Danby was helping him out. So in the end, everyone passed out from the story as they couldn't handle the sounds he was making when Herring was busy reenacting the swishing and slurping sounds. It took a whole night to finish the story, so everyone went to bed. Before Herring is able to go to sleep, he has one-on-one time with his dad as Herring is getting ready to grab some milk from the store to never come back again. But before he leaves, his dad imparts some secret special knowledge, like how first-class warriors are given a license for rice cake destroying anytime they want. But then his dad became a sussy baka, asking Herring if he was a loser, wanting to know more about his first encounter in extreme detail. His dad then gets surprised when Herring reveals the detail of how he knows Danby's name, as foxes are never allowed to reveal their identity, as the wolves can track them down. So he gets up, ordering Herring to never reveal that detail to anyone else. But he begins to giggle, as if he's remembering someone from the past. His dad then reminds him of what he always says, claiming that Herring is destined to be king, but Herring has never believed his father. The next morning, Herring looks back feeling at peace with himself as he leaves everything behind, unable to really choose his destiny. As he lays down during the journey, he finally thought to himself how his father could know every single top-secret intelligence, even though he's just a normal man in a small town. He shrugs it off, though, as he reveals that he really hasn't asked his father about what he did before Herring was born, so it never really came to mind. Regardless, he arrives in front of the gates of the special headquarters, so he takes a deep breath before stepping forward. Someone then yells his name, telling him that he's 21 minutes early, but I can't tell if the person is a girl or a dude. What do you guys think? I'm going to assume he's a guy, since he's part of the men-only nation. No matter, the boy's name is revealed to be Magi, so Magi takes him on a tour around the headquarters. They then take a moment to stop at a nearby training facility, so Magi opens the doors to the mysterious building. Upon entering, all he could hear are people grunting, but he gets confused even more when someone yells out to use their hips better. With his eyes finally adjusting to the room, he finally realized they were practicing specific positions for every member, on fake foxes. Now I have seen a lot of things, but man, this was such a weird scene, and it looks like Herring agrees with me as well. Magi then interrupts the leader in charge of the exam, asking if anyone is worth looking into, but he just lets him know everyone is still just bang average. Meanwhile, as Magi introduces Herring to the leader in charge, Herring notices that they are all practicing on dolls that his father made. Magi then reveals that Herring is the one that Ara chose, causing everyone in the room to stop everything they were doing to just glare at him. But Herring is not scared at the display of the entire group, probably because he knows he landed some nice vanilla cake to eat over and over. Afterwards, Magi brings him over to the most important area of the headquarters, as the one in charge wants to meet him personally. As he calls him over, Herring meets the fat old man in charge of everyone, making sure their banana plantations grow well to meet the standards of the foxes. He then gets up, asking why the hell would Ara pick him, as the point of the special forces for both nations is to combine the best seeds with the best plantations to create the